Scott, so tell us a little bit about the company first off.
So Veritonic is a technology company. We have an audio effectiveness platform that brands and publishers use to measure the effectiveness of audio.
So what's happening with audio? It's a lot, it seems. Audio seems to have been enjoying a renaissance of sorts. What are sort of the demands of marketers now, of brands and agencies around, audio, which is definitely becoming more prominent?
Yeah, absolutely. In the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of things shift in favor of audio becoming more prominent. One is the kind of overwhelming just saturation in the visual world, just with screens and all the different things that happen that way. And then you see the on-demand world coming to audio, so podcasting and things like that, where people have the expectation that I can get this content whenever I want. And then you see things like smart speakers and AirPods. So in a very secular way, you have devices that are around us all the time that are very easy to consume audio on. So I've got AirPods in my ears on the train or the subway, or I'm in my house and I have this smart speaker. So you see all these different places where people have audio in their lives, audio that they choose proactively, and that's a great opportunity for marketers to engage with that audience, because the audience is choosing to be there. It's very accessible, and that's a great organic way to reach somebody, and that's partly and in a lot of the reasons why we've seen audio have what you call a renaissance over the last couple of years.
So tell us how you guys work with brand marketers around their creative and the value that you bring to them, and a little bit about that process.
Right. Well, creative makes a huge difference, and whether that's a TV spot that has music and voice in it, a lot of times 90% of that budget is spent on the visual, and maybe 10% or less on the audio, and that's really not the way the outcome or the kind of interpretation of that ad works out, right? It's not 90% visual and 10% sound when you think about emotions. And in the audio world, you want to have effective creative. So you want to have effective creative in every place, but the audio world, there's not a standard or benchmark for what an effective audio ad looks like. And there's a lot of live reads and other things in the audio world that make that difficult to understand. So brands license our platform to help them figure out, with quantitative data and statistically significant decisions, hey, this is the right voice to use here. This is the right piece of music to use here. This is the right place to put my audio logo. Is it the beginning, at the end? Do I mention this endorsement at this point in the spot? And so in an audio-only environment, that's obviously really powerful. Even in a world where there's visuals present, it's still a big influence around the outcome, whether it's purchase intent, emotions, recall, or just overall engagement over time.
So you're a SaaS platform then? Is it a subscription, or how does it work? How does the business work?
It's a SaaS platform that people license, usually on an annual basis. And coming into that, you ultimately, and we're seeing this more, you mentioned the audio renaissance, you want to have an audio strategy. If you're a brand and you're a marketer or a CMO, you have a strategy, and audio needs to be part of that. You need to have a strategy around audio in the same way you have style guides and visual guides around how your brand should appear visually. And you have to have those style guides around how your brand appears sonically. Is this voice on brand? Is this music on brand? Is this audio spot on brand? And so our platform becomes part of the research stack within any brand, large or small, to help them understand how they're using audio, where it's being effective, and where they can do better in comparing things to each other, but also looking at the large pool of normative data that's out there. So competitors, what are your competitors doing with audio? What is happening in streaming versus podcast versus TV? So we're that platform that lives within their research stack that specializes in sound.